Polish Independent Carpathian Brigade was a Polish military unit formed in 1940 in French Syria, composed of the Polish soldiers exiled after the invasion of Poland in 1939 as part of the Polish army in France. It was commanded by General Stanisław Kopański. The division fought with distinction in the North African theatre of World War II, notably during the Siege of Tobruk. In 1942 it formed the backbone of the 3rd Carpathian Rifle Division. History. In December 1939, 3 months after the invasion of Poland, the Polish Commander-in-Chief, General Władysław Sikorski, decided that a Polish unit in the French territory of Levant be created. On the 12th of April 1940 the brigade was officially formed in Syria, with Colonel Kopański as its commander. The main base of the brigade was established in Homs, and the new unit instantly entered the ranks of the French Armée.Du Levant. As a unit specializing in mountain warfare, the brigade was thought of as a Polish addition to Allied plans for landings in the Balkans. It was modeled after the standard French Mountain Infantry Brigade, with 2 infantry regiments, artillery regiment, reconnaissance regiment, signals, engineers and a star. Although new recruits arrived on a daily basis, the brigade did not reach the planned numbers of 208 officers and 6,840 soldiers and NCOs. After its capitulation and the annulment of all France's pacts with Poland and the United Kingdom, the commander of the Armée.Du Levant, General Eugene Mittelhauser, decided to support the new Vichy government of Philippe Pétain, while the Poles were ordered by Sikorski to leave French territory. On the 30th of June 1940 the brigade defected to British-controlled Palestine, where it joined the British forces stationed there. Initially composed of 319 officers and 3,437 soldiers, it was soon reinforced to roughly 5,000 men. Among the distinctive features of the unit was a high morale of the soldiers, all of whom were volunteers. In addition, roughly 25% were well educated, a thing uncommon in European armies at the time. Based in Latran, the brigade was equipped with British weapons, reinforced and trained. In October 1940 it was moved to Egypt, where it undertook garrison duties. Among other tasks it guarded prisoner-of-war camps and prepared the fortification of Alexandria. However, as Poland was still formally at peace with Italy, it could not have been sent to the front. On the 12th of January 1941 the reorganization along the British regulations ended and the unit was renamed to Polish Independent Brigade Group. It was modeled after a British motorized infantry brigade and was then moved to the port of Haifa, from where it was to be transported to Greece. However, before the first of the detachments had been embarked on the ships, the Battle of Greece ended as the Germans overran that country. On the 30th of April 1941, during the offensive of Erwin Rommel's Afrika Korps, the brigade was moved near to the front at the fort of Mersa-Matruh, where it spent the next 10 weeks strengthening defensive positions. It was then withdrawn to the El Amaria camp near Alexandria, and on the 18th of August 1941 the first convoy of the brigade's units left for besieged Tobruk, transported in 7 convoys. Between the 21st of August and the 28th of August, the brigade took over the westernmost perimeter, relieving Australian troops in the process. Fighting alongside the British 70th Infantry Division, the brigade took part in the Siege of Tobruk. Overnight on the 9th of December, during the British 8th Army's offensive, Operation Crusader, which was to raise the siege, the Polish brigade seized the strategically important Madau Hill town of Akroma and broke through to the 8th Army. Due to their impact on the battle, the Polish soldiers were awarded with the prestigious title of the Tobruk Rats by their Australian comrades in arms. On the 13th of December the Carpathian Ulan Regiment was detached, while the remainder of the brigade was attached to 13th Corps of the 8th Army and took part in the attack on the Axis-Gazila defensive line on 15 December. Rommel made a fighting withdrawal to defensive positions around El Agila, but a counterattack by him on 21 January 1942 led to the armies once more facing each other at the Gazila position by early February. On 17 March 1942 the brigade was withdrawn from the front to the El Amaria camp and then back to Palestine. There it was joined by the Polish forces of General Władysław Anders, evacuated from the Soviet Union, and was reformed into the 3rd Carpathian Rifle Division. The brigade officially ceased to exist on 3 May 1942. Throughout its existence the brigade lost 156 killed in action, 467 wounded and 15 missing. Order of battle. The intended number of men-at-arms was 348 officers and 5,326 soldiers and NCOs. However, the brigade did not reach it prior to being sent into battle. Each infantry battalion was composed of 4 rifle companies, each in turn composed of 3 rifle platoons and staff company. The artillery initially composed of a mixture of French equipment and British ordnance QF 18-pounder guns. By June 1941 all pieces of artillery were replaced with ordnance QF 25-pounder. Despite the uniformity in equipping the artillery subunits, they received the traditional Polish names of light artillery, heavy artillery, and mounted artillery. Around that time also the anti-tank battalion was created, with 4 batteries, each consisting of 4 pieces of artillery. HQ Chief of Staff Lt. Colonel Jerzy Zaremba, later Marj. Henryk Piatkowski, Commanding Officer of Infantry Col. While N.T. Peszek, Quartermaster, Military Post Office, Military Police, Topography, Services. 1st Battalion of Carpathian Rifles, 2nd Battalion of Carpathian Rifles, 3rd Battalion of Carpathian Rifles, Carpathian Artillery Regiment, 1st Light Artillery Battalion, 2nd Heavy Artillery Battalion, 3rd Mounted Artillery Battalion, Carpathian Anti-Tank Artillery Battalion, Carpathian Uhlans Regiment. Services: Sappers, Signals,